that, even prior to, so you started out, basketball, hoop dreams, you
That's
know,
right.
but you've always been an entrepreneur. Take me through your journey, man. How'd you end up kind of moving, into this space?
Yeah, like I said, growing up I had a brother that lived with me. Grew up under my brother. He's 10 years older than me. He always been a hustler. Like when I say hustler, he wasn't a drug dealer hustler, but he would sell a lot of he'd sell anything,
Okay.
And he was actually the first one to start that bootlegging in New York. That's how deep it is. So we used to sell shirts, guest shirts, everything. So he taught me how to speak to people, be out there and not be afraid to say no, get no's, and just be in the public presenting a product, you know what I mean, to the mass audience, So he taught me how to be that and just being out there. Like I take my brother used to always take me along with him,
Mm.
and show me how he did it. I used to sit and observe. He had lingo. They had scripts that they would make up on the fly. They were just good with the lingo, you know. And I learned just by watching and
Yeah.
observing. And then, as I got older, it was my time, and I just, it was natural to me, just being a people person, making sure that you do the right thing, making sure that the product that you pushing or you provide it to somebody, they both, everybody's benefiting. So, as you grow up, this is what I learned. And then I got into insurance because I had a serial entrepreneur, had clothing stores. We started, the traditional thing that we learned to do, record labels,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? Clothing stores, so we took the traditional route that's being promoted or advertised from rappers or anybody that's we seem to have made it. So, the same situation with me. We did record store. We had a record label. We had a clothing store. We was doing it all. And when I had and then we had a transportation company. We was taking people to and from colleges to New York City. We had
Mm.
um, we had deals with University of Delaware, things of that nature. We'd take the ESL students that come from different countries to the city. We had contracts. So, how I got insurance is because as an entrepreneur, when you paying 30, $40,000 a year in commercial auto, you're like, yo, how can I get some of this back? You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
You start speaking to I started speaking to the agent, you feel what I'm saying, who was the principal owner. And I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, how do I get insurance? What's that about? Tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm trying to get some of this premium back. You know what I mean? And when I got into the insurance, I thought, I didn't know nothing about the field, and I thought you needed a, college degree or some
Mhm.
type of degree. I didn't know it just took licensing. All you had to do is just get a course and pass the test. I said, that's all you got to do. You ain't got to go to college for 2, 4 years, no bachelor's, no associate. It's like, nah, all you got to do is get your license. What does that look like? A 40-hour course, 40-hour course, and I can get into the insurance game. And I learned about it. And ever since then, man, I've been in it. And I wish I would have knew about this first because it's the only thing I would have been doing because it provides so much value to our community, being able to educate them, make them whole in the event of a claim. We have an important job as insurance advisors.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to dig into something that you just mentioned. You said you called your agent and asked, "Hey, how do I get into this?" How was that experience, and how was it with how did the agent kind of receive you, in asking how to get into the industry?
So the agent was like I said, was the principal owner. And he had about 15 agents under him. And I always been an entrepreneur, so he known me for doing business. So he was very receptive, opened his doors, told me how to do it, and even let me come work with him for a few months to
Mm-hmm.
get it all, what I mean, to learn the ropes and things of that nature without pay. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was willing to do that. My thing is you provide me with an opportunity, I'm gonna take it there. So I don't need to get paid. The knowledge enough is payment for me. Just
Absolutely.
showing me how to do it and showing me what to do and the
Ooh.
contacts is that was more than a blessing than anything. I didn't need no money. If you
Hey,
give me an opportunity, I'm gonna learn how to get the money. You understand? Because I'm a people person. I'm not scared to speak to anybody or have a conversation.
Jason, you giving me more, man. I can't even move forward because I got to go back to some of the things that you're saying here. First, I wanted you to mention that because what I find is that for most agents, particularly if they're successful, they're always willing to share knowledge,
Yes.
and kind of open the door for others to come in. And you also mentioned that when you went in to work for the agency, obviously to learn, we'll call it maybe like an internship, style or apprenticeship, style relationship there. And it wasn't about the money, it was about the knowledge and information, because you knew that you were going to apply that knowledge and information. So, for those that are listening, how much, if you can share, you know what I mean? Like if you had to equate the amount of dollars or revenue that knowledge has helped you to create, what would you put it roundabout? You gotta be specific, but roundabout.
I mean, millions of dollars. Reason being is because it gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing today, which the potential that's going to be coming could be in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. So just being able to open the door and had a mentality, hey, let me learn, let me see. I wasn't getting no draw or nothing, I was just in there just trying to learn, see what was going on. And I know my personality. I know I'm gonna make something happen with it if I believe in it. Yeah. And once I started to learn about it and believe in it, I'm like, wow, it does this. Oh, you can do this. Oh, wow, okay. Residual. Now, looked at the business too. Oh, it's a residual based business too. You write the client, you service them, and you provide, you create a relationship and you can keep them forever. Okay, I like this business.
Yeah.
So that started that, and man, to equate the money, man, it's got to be in the millions of dollars.
Yeah. See,
I wouldn't even seen the opportunity.
Boom.
I seen it because I knew what it was, and then him opening his doors and be like, hey, I could show it to you. Oh, girl, I want to be a part of that. And me taking the initial steps, because I had to get my license and I had to do all of that as well. So, it was just him opening the doors, which is a blessing. You got to take responsibility. You got to take initiative. You got to make the moves that's necessary for you and your family. So I did that, and I never looked back. I wish I would have known about that, because like you said, it's a secret.
Yeah.
It's a secret. Nobody, and I don't care how sexy it is. At the end of the day, we try to help people and help ourselves in the process in this industry.
Absolutely, man. Shit. I mean, I think some of the things that we have the ability to do are kind of sexy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I mean? We're not hurting. I was in a conversation. I was at a selective meeting, and the gentleman next to me was talking about $5 million homes they just built up. And then out of in there, I said, that's nice.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, Well, so yeah, kind of coming into that. So you worked there a couple months, and you kind of got your foot in. You got some knowledge. You got some information that you can utilize. At what point did you decide, okay, I think I can go out and do this on my own? And kind of what was that transition process like for you?
Oh man, it was immediately. Like within the first 6 months, I went on my own. I've been an entrepreneur, so it was easy for me.
Yeah.
And like basically it was giving me access to markets. And I always see, I took the time to apply myself after hours as well. When you got a mission and a goal, you got to apply yourself, So I was out of that agency and started my own scratch within 6 months of getting introduced to the industry. Had figured out all I need is E&O. I had the relationships because he helped me build relationships with some of the carriers, which was a blessing. And he really wasn't concerned because he's making millions of dollars himself. So he was just happy to share. So at that time, developed a few relationships in the agency, developed relationships with the carriers, started off, with the Progressive. Back then it was the Victorias. We was doing all non-standard, stuff like that. I would write anybody that had a pulse. You know what I'm saying? You was breathing in front of me. I'm like, how can I help you? You know what I mean? What you need, insurance for your T-shirt, whatever. We can insure anything. We can take it to market.
Yeah.
So that was my mentality, and I'm still here today. 12 years later.